Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Dr. Ash Hilton, a UK medical school admissions tutor, and what I'm about to show you is one of the videos from my online course for how you can get into your top choice medical school. For any of the PDFs or resources that we talk about, just head to FutureDoc.co, and if you want to see some regular videos, I'll be posting weekly videos on here on my YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe in the bottom corner. And that said, enjoy! Hello and welcome back. How did you enjoy the last lesson? Do you feel like you have a good understanding of the application process by now? If not, don't worry. We'll take you through each step at a time so that when you come back through and go through the course again, it will be really easy. Now, we're going to look at what requirements you need for the universities to be able to consider your application. One of the main concerns of potential medical students is their academic grade requirements. My advice to you is work hard to earn the very best grades you can. Focus on your studies and don't allow any distractions to get in the way of starting a successful career. Trends with subjects are starting to favour the more communication-heavy subjects. Therefore, subjects such as psychology are becoming a lot more in favour, whilst chemistry are becoming less and less of a requirement. It helps to know which medical school you would like to apply for. Then, you can pick subjects that they prefer. The best way to check these is either by calling the university admissions office yourself or by checking their website. However, when becoming a doctor, grades are not the only important factor. Otherwise, they will just simply pick the highest people who perform well in exams. Becoming a doctor requires academic as well as many other important skills. To help you determine if you meet the general grade and additional requirements for medical school, I've created a medical school comparison tool that allows you to look at the various differences between medical schools, including their requirements. More on this later. Medical schools are taught in English and use complex languages to describe diseases. It is imperative that by the time you apply to medical school, that your spoken and written English is of a high standard. The universities will often demand that you have an English language qualification held at advanced level. Luckily, the universities themselves provide courses that issue with certificates. When you know what universities you want to apply to, it is worth gaining your English qualification from this university, as it will make the entire process much easier. The process of applying is generic and fair. You just have to learn how to play the game. UCAS applications are reviewed by multiple people. Interview panels are under strict guidelines. Overall, they're looking at three things. People have to have the academic ability, they have to be able to communicate well, and show that they have a passion for medicine. So, what makes a good doctor? In my eyes, and something to remember throughout your medical career when you are either looking for a doctor or admiring a doctor that you want to aspire to, you should consider the four following characteristics. Number one, ability. This is the most important. You have to have the knowledge and the skills to be able to treat patients. The second is affability. This isn't just about liking the doctor. The doctor has to have the patient on side so that they can convince them to comply with any treatment that they recommend. The third is advocacy. Do they know the best person to refer you to, or how to work the system most efficiently to treat their patients well? And finally, accessibility. How easily can you reach them or their secretary if anything goes wrong with your medical care? Bear in mind, this is just my opinion on how I view it. It's okay to have an opinion during your interviews. Just be willing to have an intelligent discussion with them and offer some good reasons as to why you think like that. One of the skills you need to develop as a doctor is resourcefulness. One of the main traits of successful applicants is the willingness to take initiative when trying to find out something or pursue things like work experience. If you have any questions, be proactive about it. It's also important to develop the bravery and confidence to speak with people. Don't be afraid to call a university to ask them if you have any questions. The best people to ask are the medical school's admission staff. They are often very helpful and actually reply quite quickly. Most of the time, you can ask them generic questions that actually apply to all the medical schools that you're applying to. A quick note on disability and special requirements. Universities have to determine that the doctors that they produce are fit to practice. If you have any disability that may hinder your ability to be a doctor, check with the medical school. Usually they are very supportive. For example, they are able to cater for any students with visual, hearing, physical, or specific learning disabilities such as dyslexia. I myself am dyslexic, for example, and they were very supportive throughout. There is a special place on your UCAS application where you can disclose any disabilities that you may have. Your grades will potentially influence the medical school that you choose, so the biggest takeaway is to do your best to get the necessary grades to get into the medical school of your choice. Later in this module, I'll introduce you to our amazing system on how to select the best medical school for you. In the next lesson, we'll dive a little deeper into more of the attributes candidates must show to successfully apply to medical school. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed that video and found it really useful with loads of actionable tips that you can use to get into your top choice medical school. I'll be posting weekly videos, so make sure you subscribe in the bottom corner. And if there's anything that you want to see from the video, like resources or PDFs, just head to futuredoc.co and you can find everything there. Thanks a lot and take care.